Yo, what's good? Facebook banned another one of our pages. They updated their policy? Bro, I'm switching to Google. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, we're gonna be talking about the policy changes that have just been released by Facebook regarding the Facebook page feedback score. Now, if you plan on running Facebook ads for your dropshipping business throughout this Q4 and beyond, you're gonna wanna stick around to the end of this video.
Most of the time when these people be talking, I don't even hear them.
Now, before we hop into the video, no, I am not going to solely convert all of my marketing efforts to Google, although I am running Google ads and they're doing really well. I will, however, be much more mindful of my customer feedback heading into Q4 due to this one change that Facebook just made that is going to disrupt the dropshipping industry. Now, if you've seen any of my YouTube videos before, you're probably likely with the weekly giveaways that I usually do with every video that I launch. So first things first, here is the winner of the last consulting call giveaway. If this is you, if you saw your name right here, go ahead and DM me on Instagram at ecommerce_Kyle. If that wasn't you, you still have an opportunity of winning a consulting call pretty much every single week. All you have to do is like this video, make sure that you're subscribed, and comment something down below. Now, with that out of the way, let's hop right into the video. All right, so first things first, what is a page score and why do advertisers like dropshipping and e-commerce brands not like it? Well, first, Facebook feedback scores are derived from a couple of different components from a survey that dropshipping or e-commerce customers receive once they buy a product from a social media ad on Instagram or Facebook. Now, some of the things that Facebook asks for are their experience with the shipping times, the customer service, and the overall product quality. So as soon as Facebook started rolling out these customer feedback scores, it shut down a lot of businesses because it eliminated all of the businesses that had either poor product quality, slow shipping speeds, or really bad customer service. Now, usually these surveys are sent out anywhere between 4 and 8 weeks from the time that a customer makes a purchase from your business through one of your social media ads. This means that if your shipping takes 6 weeks and they get a survey in 4 weeks, they're probably not going to be very happy and they're probably going to leave a bad review on your business. And now, as little as 3 of these could be the reason for your business not being able to run advertisements on Facebook. So let me tell you one of the main reasons why e-commerce business owners who advertise on Facebook don't like this scoring system. Number one, there isn't a survey that is sent to every single customer. Only like 1 to 2% of customers that order from your website are going to end up seeing these Facebook surveys. So you can offer a high quality product with fast shipping, supported by great customer service, and just hit a couple of customers that didn't have a perfect experience with your website. And that alone, having a handful of those, literally less than 5, can be the reason why you're no longer able to advertise on Facebook. Now imagine every time you go to the DMV and you get up to the booth in which you conduct whatever business you need to do, the person there asks you to fill out a form ranking your experience from 0 to 5. It's completely optional and it's totally up to you what you rank, and it's completely confidential. If you have a good experience as you expect to have at any business establishment, you're not as likely to leave a review than if you have a bad experience. If you have a bad experience, you're gonna wanna make sure that other people don't go to that place, don't eat at that restaurant, don't attend that DMV. So right off of the bat, you're gonna have way more negative reviews than you do positive, unless you have some ability to incentivize someone leaving a review, which we'll talk about in a second. But if you don't have some ability to do that or manipulate or control your reviews, you're gonna have way more negative reviews that are voluntarily given than way more positive reviews that would be voluntarily given. So now, what does this mean for real life businesses if they were judged on the same level that Facebook advertisers are for their own e-commerce businesses? Okay, this would mean that if someone had enough bad reviews, and remember, this is a 0 to 5 scale. So let me give you an example of what that would mean to, let's say, the DMVs near me, right? This company would be a 2.3. This company would be a 1.9 or below a 2. This company would also be a 1.9 or below a 2. This company would be a 1.5 or below a 2. So what Facebook used to do was penalize advertisers that had page scores between a 1 and a 2, and it would make ads be way more expensive to those advertisers as a punishment for maybe not running as good of a business. Now let me tell you what they're doing now. When your score dips below a 2 as of September 29th, you will no longer be able to run ads on Facebook through that specific page. Now this concept makes zero sense, because imagine any business, any company, any establishment didn't have the opportunity of receiving organic reviews. They were only sent out by specific people that were reviewing that company, and they were only sent to a small select group of people, and they rated their experience a 0 through 5, and based off of 3, maybe 5, maybe 10 customer reviews, those 5, 3, 10 customers could dictate your ability to conduct business. Now, how ridiculous does that sound? Well, that is now a reality for Facebook advertisers, because as of September 29th, if your page score dips below a 2, not below a 1 like it used to be, below a 2, you will no longer be able to run Facebook advertisements through the page that you've been running ads on previously. So half of these DMVs would be out of business. So again, just to reiterate, this is not for all pages, but most of you have created pages within the last year that aren't older than a year that are going to have to abide by these new rules. So if it's less than a year old and your page score drops below a 2, you won't be allowed to advertise. And if your page is more than a year old, it's still going to abide by the existing Facebook feedback score policies, to where you're just gonna get a penalty if you're between a 1 and a 2. You're only gonna get your advertising privileges removed once it drops below a 1. So now that that's out of the way, we all know that we do not enjoy when Facebook rolls out some of these policies, because some of them literally do not make sense, as 3, 5, or 10 customers can literally dictate whether or not you, as a business that might sell to thousands of customers, can advertise on Facebook. So let me give you a real life example of what this kind of looks like. So have you ever seen an apartment building or a restaurant, or let's say local bars near you, that had any Google rating less than a 1? Now the chances are you haven't, because they go by a normal rating system of 1 to 5. Facebook doesn't do that. If a customer doesn't have a good experience, they can give you a 0, which doesn't make much sense, but they can give you a 0. So now here's an example of a page that I ran about 8 weeks ago that has now collected a score that even before this update would not have been able to run ads. And let me explain to you why it's a really, really dumb concept that they rolled out. Number one, I sold about 500 units of this product in a time span of about 4 weeks, and surveys don't even get sent earlier than 4 weeks. And by the 5th week, I already was hovering right above a 2. So I know for a fact that there couldn't have been more than a handful of surveys that got sent out to customers who literally made their purchase 4 weeks ago. And my shipping is usually 2 to 3 weeks, tops, right? And this is like AliExpress, absolute slowest shipping times that I put up with, because I do value my customers and I want to send them a high quality product and within a reasonable time frame. It's not always overnight, but I'm not going to let it go a day past 3 weeks. So as you can see, it was hovering above a 2, and then below a 2, and then back up above a 2, and then below a 1, just out of nowhere. And now this is a common thing that you're going to see across some of your e-commerce businesses if you don't have an absolutely perfect backend. I've literally seen people who have inventory, who private label a product, who have 2-day shipping, great quality product, have just a couple of Karen customers, as we like to call them, and have this score drop below a 2. Now keep in mind, if your page is less than a year old and this score drops below a 2, you will no longer be able to advertise on Facebook through that page. Okay, now enough of me ranting about why this scoring system makes absolutely no sense. We are going to be in Facebook's house, so we have to abide by their rules. So what are some ways that you can combat this score? Maybe give a better customer experience and make sure that this doesn't prevent you from running ads this Q4 and beyond. So So now the first thing that you can do is set your delivery speed. Now I'm not 100% sure how accurate this statement is going to be. So Facebook's preset delivery speed is 4 weeks for any e-commerce business. That means that if you are sending customers products that they're not getting within 4 weeks and it takes longer than that, if you keep it to the default, they're going to receive this survey before they even have the opportunity to open up your package and review your product. This is not good. So if your shipping is longer than 4 weeks, even if it is not, I suggest you go ahead and bump this to greater than 9 weeks. This delays the period in which Facebook sends out the surveys to review customers. Now, I don't want you doing this to get away with running a bad business. I want you to do this so that you have time to establish a good foundation for your brand. You can focus on working out any of the kinks that you experienced in the first couple of weeks so that your customers after the first 4, 5, 6 weeks actually do have a really good and positive experience. But sometimes all companies go through growing pains and Facebook doesn't know what that looks like and they don't care. So if you forget to change this delivery speed and your shipping time is longer than 4 weeks, or you have a handful of customers that don't have a good experience, even if it's less than 1% of your total customers, your advertising privileges might be restricted or revoked. Now, the second thing you can do after you get a page score issue, let's say your page score drops below a 2 and your advertising privileges are completely revoked, you can go ahead and actually appeal that page score. So you can say, as long as you have proof, hey, I transferred over to a new supplier, we were dealing with some COVID logistics delays, and we have since fixed all of those logistical complications that we experienced before. We're now working with a supplier that has better quality, that we did some more vetting out to make sure that the quality was super good, way better than our previous supplier. And we also make sure that we're using way better shipping lines so that our customers receive it as fast as possible. We've also hired and expanded our team of customer service support agents so that we make sure that we can ensure the highest level of customer satisfaction possible through their experience with our brand. Now, in the past couple of weeks, while we're still in COVID, I have seen a lot of pages getting back their collecting signals stage in which you can advertise again for at least a couple of weeks, sometimes even a couple of months without any penalties. So if you do fall below a 2 and there's a good excuse that you have and you can support it with documents or communications with new suppliers or sourcing agents, you can go ahead and actually appeal it a couple of times until you get it back. And if you do get it back, you're usually in the clear for at least a couple of weeks, if not a couple of months. But at the end of the day, your goal is not to go around these policies. It is to actually make sure that your customers are happy. Don't sell shit products, and make sure that your shipping is reasonable. It doesn't have to be overnight. You don't have to get inventory, but you can ship a product with a free shipping line in literally 7 to 15 days tops. And you can build a brand out of 7 to 15 days as long as you have someone answering customer service emails and you're transparent about those shipping times. If you try to hide the fact that it's going to take 7 to 15 days, your customers expect it overnight, then yeah, if they receive a survey, even if the product is amazing, if they get it later than they expected it, then they're going to say that that's a downside of your brand, even though you might even be transparent about it. And just make sure that your overall user experience, like I said, from product quality to shipping speeds to customer service, is as good as it possibly can be. So now, what if you've done all of these things, but your page score is still dipping and it's getting close to that 2, and you don't want your advertising privileges to be stripped away from you because of a handful of Karen customers? Well, there's a couple of ways that you can address your snowballing page score, but this is the main way that I would suggest you can get a temporary boost. And I don't recommend that you rely on this for all of your pages and all of your brands, but you only use this for something that you're very confident in, that you know customers are having a good experience with, but that you just had a couple of straggler customers that you need to bring in some positive reviews to counteract. So there is a mini survey that you can have your customers fill out prior to even receiving the order, just reviewing their general purchasing experience, again, before actually receiving their package, that you can request for customers in exchange for some type of compensation. Now, most customers, if you ask for an honest review before receiving their item, they're probably not going to give it because they want to wait to make sure that they actually have a good quality product. But you can kind of intercept that Facebook survey by having them already fill out a different form of feedback that can help boost your score a little bit quicker. Now, you're going to want to offer, again, some sort of incentive for this, whether it's maybe a 10% rebate where they get some of their money back, maybe even a free product, but whatever you offer them, as long as you get enough feedback from enough customers, it'll be enough to boost your score temporarily. So what I suggest that you do is make an actual recording, maybe a screen recording on your phone or on your laptop of you actually going through and completing one of these feedback surveys so that you can give it as instructions to your customers so that they know exactly what to do step by step, and it's only a 2-minute process for them to do it. So for most people, if you said, hey, I'll give you $10 to do this 2-minute thing, they're likely going to do that because of how easy it is. So just to give you an idea of how you would go about doing that, once a customer makes a purchase or once a customer even interacts with your ad in some way, shape, or form, as long as you can find a way to get them over this email or to get them over a message, then you can actually have them, again, intercept that feedback survey, or at least a smaller version of it that I don't think is as genuine, but if you get enough of them, for every like 5 of these surveys, this is my theory, it's equivalent to about 1 genuine email sent from Facebook feedback survey. So you would essentially instruct customers that either purchased from you or that interacted with your ad to come over to here to recent ad activity and go through all the ads that they in some way, shape, or form recently interacted with. So now here's the thing, you don't even need to be a paying customer to leave some sort of review on a business that you interacted with. You might just see their ad and like it or comment and have the opportunity to leave some type of feedback on that actual ad. So you would instruct them to go here, locate the ad that they purchased your product through, and click leave feedback, and make sure that they say satisfied, right? Say that they have to send you a screenshot of the confirmation of this survey or a screen recording that ensures that they did in fact leave a positive review, and they can simply say customer service because their experience of actually purchasing the product was very, very easy, straightforward, and simple, and the customer service team followed up with them to get an honest review of that checkout process. And now they can just say something here like, oh, the checkout experience was really, really simple. I can't wait to receive this product. And the customer service team followed up with me to make sure that everything went smoothly. Or they don't even have to fill this part out. And then as you can see, there is a Facebook feedback survey that was just submitted by the company, and it actually gave them a little boost on their Facebook page score. So hopefully we helped another e-commerce business owner out. So I know we covered a lot in today's video when it comes to Facebook feedback scores, but at the end of the day, you really do want to make sure that you can ensure a genuine and quality customer user experience for your e-commerce brand. But we all know that some of the things that Facebook executes and implements just don't make any sense. Because if we let a couple bad apples ruin our entire business out of hundreds or thousands of customers that may have had a very satisfactory experience, then we miss out on offering our product to other customers through Facebook. So remember to delay those surveys. Make sure that you are sending rebates to customers that leave you a positive review right after buying your product so you can boost that score right off of the bat. And if you do happen to fall below a 2 feedback score, don't panic because you can always appeal and you can always pick up and run your business somewhere else, just in a new environment, and clean up any of the mistakes that you may have left behind on that other business. So thank you so much for sticking around to the end of this video. I'm sorry it was so long, but this is a topic that's very, very important with e-commerce that I'm very passionate about because I don't like the scoring system, but you shouldn't have to work really hard to try to get around it. You should have a good user experience, but even a good user experience is not enough. You have to take additional precautions with backup pages and certain systems in place to prevent Facebook from shutting your business down from just a couple of bad customers. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. Make sure that you're subscribed. Comment something down below so that you can enter for a chance to win a free 30-minute consulting call with me. And other than that, I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.